So as you can see, this is the tier list. Would you change any positions? I think it's perfect.
I think it's great.
I think it looks great.
You're forgetting one thing.
What? Oh! Yeah, I am forgetting one thing, aren't I? We got ourselves a bonus round. Big spoilers for Alien Romulus if you haven't seen it. But brother, we gotta do it. The offspring of Alien Romulus.
Jesus, that picture's freaky.
Yeah, just looking at it, bro.
Freaky picture.
When this shot came around in the film, I watched the film 3 times in theaters. How many times did you see it?
4.
4 times. So we watched it 4 times in theaters. I watched it 3 times. Can you agree with me that every time you watch this film with a group of people, you're going to have at least half of them gasp out of fucking surprise when this alien comes up on screen?
Yep. It's such a good fucking reveal. And it's the kind of thing where, you know, the alien does, oh, the movie's over. No, it's not.
Oh, you thought we were done? Nah, we got a 4th act. What? It's a mini one, but we got it.
They should have a cut where, like, the credits start rolling, and then the offspring just pulls that shit down. It's like, nope, we're continuing this fucking movie.
What you think this was? Yeah. Give him a speaking role, yeah.
Yeah, but I think what the offspring does really well in comparison to the other aliens is that the offspring adds that sense of mystery that hasn't been there since the original movie.
Absolutely.
Or honestly, hell, even Aliens, because the Queen were just kind of like, what the fuck?
With the offspring, immediately all I was thinking was, okay, uncharted territory. When I see a neomorph, I'm thinking derivative. When I'm seeing a trilobot, whatever the fuck, a hammerpede, I'm like, okay, I know what this is going to do. When I see an offspring, I think, I have no idea where we're going. Jesus, take the wheel. That's what I'm thinking. That's it.
Yeah, it's the first new thing that we've gotten in a long time. Like, the engineers are new, but they're not on the level of, like, you know, what the xenomorphs are.
Yeah.
So when you have an offspring...
In terms of danger, yes.
Yeah, so when you have an offspring, that kind of is the best of both worlds. You take you take the look of an engineer, but the deadliness of a xenomorph. It's just freaky.
And you know, this is meant to be a mix between a human baby, and a xenomorph. But I also believe it. Did they mention this, that there was Promethean DNA in that black goo, or was it just black goo that the Prometheans had?
I don't think it's DNA. I think it's just black goo that they had. But
right,
a Rook, the android, claimed that it was the source of all life.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know what the black goo is.
Maybe that's what the Prometheans come from. Yeah, maybe.
Or at least it's what they use to create life.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know.
Either way, let's just say that it's a mix of human and xenomorph. And it looks infinitely better than a damn resurrection, okay? Look at the difference. I want y'all to see the difference.
Yeah.
Bro looks hench straight out of I don't know what the fuck. And then you got this guy. It's like Slender Man. Nah, fuck that. Let me tell you something. I ain't fucking with all that. Yeah, I see this guy down the hall. I'm thinking, okay, he can't move. Like, he can barely walk. You know what I mean? I see this guy. I'm like, he's going to leap at me. Fuck that. You know?
That thing is going to crawl on the ceiling and kill me.
I don't need it.
Yeah. But I am an offspring enjoyer. Mm-hmm. I like the sense of mystery it adds to the sense of danger. You know, I also like the look.
People always bring up but they did it in Resurrection, so they're just copying. I don't mind them taking an idea from a movie that did horribly with that idea. Mm-hmm. That's it. If you could not execute your idea well and some other movie steals it, I don't mind. I really fucking don't. Because then they just made it good. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's it.
And I mean, it's even a thing of, like, you know, we talked about how Alien Romulus kind of makes everything canon. Uh-huh. And I feel like that this was their way of, you know, paying homage to Resurrection, being like, okay, let's see if we can bring that into the fold.
Right. And they flipped it. Instead of the alien birthing a human baby, it was a human birthing an alien baby.
Yeah.
You gotta love it. I mean,
yes.
It's hard to describe, but you get what I'm saying if you've seen both of the movies. One of them came out of a queen, the other one came out of a human. So that's it. And there's obvious differences.
The offspring overall, I feel like it's really hard to describe until you've seen it. It's just like you got to see it to believe it kind of creature. You got to
see the movie. Absolutely.
Because then you can understand why it's like, oh, yeah, this shit is terrifying.
I'd say that it's been a long time since I've been this scared seeing an alien in an alien film, and I think I haven't had that feeling since the first Alien. It really is that simple. When I saw, once I saw The Offspring, I think uncharted territory. What the fuck are we doing now? You know, what's gonna happen? You know, we don't know if this guy is gonna create a nest. We don't know if this guy's gonna keep him alive, gonna kill him off. You know, we don't know if it expresses human tendencies, which it does, because immediately it tries to suck the teat of the mother. You know, and it's kind of playful with his food near the end. You know, which people say, oh, he's just dragging it out. It's like, no, it's a baby.
Yeah,
it makes sense. You know.
Yeah, I will say that The Offspring could be not as good if they used it again in a sequel. I feel like because this one was limited to like the third act of the movie in Romulus, and if that was the only time we see it, it'd be a million times more effective than, oh, Offspring's back in the sequel. Looks like we gotta kill it, guys. It could work, but I'd rather just stick
There's
with
more.
Xenomorphs.
There's a lot more room for error. Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you could execute something amazing with The Offspring, I'd be down for it. But it needs to be revolutionary. You have to justify bringing it back, because this is such a cool one-off appearance that I agree it would lessen it if they just played it more and it became generic. You know.
Yeah, because it's also, I mean, look at the Xenomorphs, you know? A lot of people, I've seen a lot of fans claim that, oh, Alien Romulus isn't scary. It's like, well, it is scary. It's just, we know what the Xenomorphs are, and we've seen them in literally all of these movies. Obviously, the magic is not going to be there when they show up again. The horror is not going to be the same. So when you take The Offspring...
Which is why they actually lean a lot more on the facehugger, you know?
Yes, yeah, because we have seen the facehugger a lot too, but not nearly as much as the Xenomorph. So when the Xenomorph does come in, they play it as a big moment, which I like. But it is also the thing of, we know what the Xenomorph is. You can get on with it.
Right.
But
Go ahead.
With The Offspring, it's completely uncharted territory. And so it's really just the idea of, like, it again, it adds that sense of mystery that was there in the original. And so it adds to that horror of, like, okay, you don't think the Xenomorph is scary? We're going to scare you with this.
Yeah.
You know, this is new, this is different, you've never seen it, it's terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you right now that at the end of the day, there's going to be people who disagree with this decision, but right now, as is, I could not put this organism that literally has almost no cons next to the B tier. I just can't.
Yeah.
I got to put him in A. I know that's controversial, some people don't like that. That's fine.
But it's lucky because it has the benefit of not being brought down by lore.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what the fuck it is.
Absolutely. We don't know what the fuck it is. It's a really cool reveal. And so far, as it is, I have to put it in A. Now, in 2 sequels from now, we don't know.
That shit could go down to C.
Yeah, really could. But right now, as is, with that still, you know, that pirated ass still.
Yeah.
Which I didn't pirate. A bunch of other sites already did.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just took it. All right.
Yeah. I think I definitely do not want to see The Offspring in the sequel.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It should be a one and done thing.
Yeah, like, just, you can stick to the Xenomorphs. Like, we know what the Xenomorphs are, but you can still make them effective and scary.
You know what I would love to do is if they teased it and then it got snuffed. Like Rain sees like the DNA is like, oh, if you get that in your bloodstream, something like that, and then it happens, and Rain remembers it, and so she just kills the guy immediately. You know, like 20. Have you seen 28 Days Later? I don't think you have.
No, I haven't.
But if people have seen 28 Days Later, one guy got infected, and like, you know, they were best friends, whatever, and then as soon as he gets infected, it only takes like 10, 20 seconds to get fully infected. So she looks at him and then cuts him in pieces with a machete, like immediately. That connection I liked. You liked the character, but as soon as she saw that he was infected, it was over. Go ham, right? I want to see that with Kaylee Spaney. I want her to go ham on somebody. Hell, have it be somebody we don't like. Fuck it. You know, I want to see that. You know, fuck.
Yeah. I was gonna say I wouldn't mind seeing The Offspring if, like, she gets PTSD flashbacks.
Yes,
like, like say she lands at that planet that they were wanting to go to, and there are other people there. What if you have, like, someone pregnant, you know, that lives, like, maybe there's like a little colony.
Oh, fuck
she
me.
meets like a pregnant girl, and then the girl's giving birth, and she just gets flashbacks to like the offspring, but it's normal baby.
I want like POV shots of the alien like right up to her. Yo, a dream sequence with the offspring would go kind of crazy. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Because it still maintains the aura of the creature, and it provides you the luxury of not having to explain what it is.
Right.
Because Rain doesn't know what it is.
Yeah, just from her perspective. That's it. Yeah. I would love to see, like, the thing is, I don't think that they'll bring it back, mainly because of how they achieved this monster. They brought in some guy who was a 7'7", like a basketball player, and he actually played the suit. Yeah, it's not fully CGI, guys. Wonderful. And so I don't think they'd rehire him to do another version of this. You know, if they do, it'll probably just be a fully CGI 1 or 2 shots. You know, where it's like for example, the close-up shot near the end where the alien is like holding her and is trying to get through the helmet. You know, like we all know it wasn't the actor on a fucking pulley. Like, no, that's full CGI. You know. So they might do some shots like that for like a flashback or a dream sequence, something like that, right? But nothing new in live action, you know?
Yeah.
But I would love to see the offspring teased and snuffed immediately.
Yeah.
That's like, I would like to see.
Dead. Like, for sure. Like, that's kind of what I want. I want the confirmation that, yes, this thing is dead.
And so I would love to see like Rain just pull the trigger, like fully evolved bad bitch. You know what I mean? That's what I want to see. Is if she fucking turns around and sees this, that like you got imbued with DNA or something, and you're pregnant. Yo, that would be dark as fuck.
Yeah, it would.
Oh hell! Like I said, if they could do it. Fuck it. If they want to do it tragic at the end of a movie, or they want to do it during with an asshole, you know, something like that. And I want, if it is someone that we don't like, I want you to have the audience questioning why they hate that person so much. Because that person's going to have to be pregnant, you know? So,
yeah, for sure.
That's it. I love a film that can make you think about why you believe this way. Like The Sopranos did a great job of like, oh, why do you like these mafia guys? They're hurting innocent people. They're taking money from local businesses. Like, they're horrible, but we still root for them because they're cool mafia guys in a movie. But it's like, why do you like them? They're criminals. They're horrible people. Why do you like, you know? So that's something that Sopranos always played around with. I wouldn't mind seeing them do something like that with someone who gets fucked up with the offspring and then gets killed almost immediately. It's like, oh yeah, I'm glad she's dead. And then you think about it, but why am I glad? Yeah. That's it. Do it.
I think it could be interesting if, you know, was that black goo stuff still? Did Kay take it with her to the ship?
The jar, I think yes.
So it'd be interesting because obviously that would have to play a part in the sequel if that is the case.
She did bring it. She brought a jar and a needle. I know she had something else in her hand, and I think it was the jar. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I wouldn't have a human get infected with it because then you just have another offspring. But I would like to see what happens if maybe an animal of some kind gets.
Yeah. I'd love to see. I'd love to see more aliens. Absolutely.
Yeah.
More mutations. I just don't want a bunch of willy-nilly ones because then you get the zombie. Then you get the,
exactly.
You don't want a bunch of willy-nilly ones. You want something that you don't expect.
Like I know it can be kind of redundant, but I think it'd be cool if, like, let's say a dog, right, got into the goo or whatever for a little bit, but then it, like, whatever creature comes out of the dog is a bit more xenomorph-like in terms of behavior. And even a little bit of appearance. It could be kind of redundant that, it just looks like another xenomorph. But, something playing with that. Like, I want to... The offspring looked human-like, but I would love to see it if other versions of it look wildly different compared to, like, a dog or whatever.
You know what I'd love? And yeah, I agree. I would want to see more mutants versions with the goo. We'll see. One thing I think is a cool idea narratively is if Andy and Rain are being chased by the Colonial Marines. Now, let's say the Colonial Marines are pursuing them because they have the black goo. The Colonial Marines don't even know like they had the goo. It's just, you have a MacGuffin, we need it, right? And so they're carrying out William Yutani's orders. And so when they land on a random planet or something to get away from them, or maybe it's the planet that they wanted to get to, we don't know. Let's just assume the setting is they get to a planet in order to get away from the Colonial Marines. Maybe the Colonial Marines picks up their pod and then they crash land on a planet and they're still trying to get away from the Colonial Marines because like, oh, nobody can have this goo, we must destroy it. Have Rain use that goo on some of the local wildlife to have them hunt the fucking Colonial Marines while they're trying to get away.
That'd be interesting.
I would see that. Have the Colonial Marines be the enemies. Do it.
Mm-hmm.
And of course the aliens would kill Rain too. You know what I mean? If that was the thing. But that's the thing. She knows the goo can do something. They don't know what the goo is, how it could, whatever the fuck. But have Rain use that goo as a weapon to go against the Marines. Hell, you can use a zombie Marine there too. You know what I mean? It's like, oh shit. Saxton, is that you? Oh no. You know, some shit like that. He doesn't have to do nothing. I would just love to see a little callback. You know, like he doesn't have to kill anything. He gets somebody in a grasp and then the Colonial Marine kills him after. I want these Colonial Marines not to be idiots. I want them to be fucking badasses. All right.
I think it'd be an idea I just had was that, you know, you have the movie going on, but it'd be great if every once in a while the movie cut to, like, you know, let's say an ant, the smallest of creatures, an ant drank some of the black goo, starts getting infected, goes back to like its ant colony, and then whatever kind of offspring comes out of the ant, obviously it's still going to be really small, decimates the entire colony, maybe gets killed by like a spider or something. Now the spider's infected. And then you just kind of keep going up the food chain. You just keep kind of going up the food chain until the offspring becomes human size and like maybe kills a human or infects a human. And yeah, you just keep going from there, because then that's how you would have it look different than just, oh, it's the offspring again. It's like, what the fuck is this amalgamation of creatures?
Well, here we go. What's going to be is that, it's going to be that. It's going to be Rain and Andy with the black goo. They land on an alien planet to get away from the Colonial Marines. The Colonial Marines eventually catch them. Como se dice, and I grab the goo, but as they grab them, some of them get spilled on the ground. And so as they're pulling them back to the ship, even though the ship is, you know, fucked up because maybe they crash landed, it's like, okay, we're going to wait by the crash and wait for someone to come rescue us. We're going to wait for rescue. While they have Rain and Andy handcuffed, and like just waiting near the crash, that little bit of goo fucked around with some of the local wildlife, and now the Colonial Marines have to defend against the aliens. Rain doesn't have to breach her integrity as a human, and she's still a protagonist, but now Rain is fighting alongside the Colonial Marines. Yeah, you fucking idiots, I told you, you don't want this black goo getting anywhere. That's what you want to do, and then just have a until dawn kind of scenario. We have to wait till morning, and we're just going to defend ourselves from whatever position, that kind of thing. I'd see that. Easy.
See, there you go. You have the sequel. Fede Alvarez, I will be expecting a call from your agent tomorrow morning. I think 10 a.m. sounds fine.
Break it
or
down.
an email
No, what
works.
you talking about? Wait. Call both of us. Stop saying you. Both of us. What are you on about? That's it.
I'm talking the general me.
I know what you mean.
Contact one of us.
Damn right.
Again, call from your agent, 10 a.m. tomorrow. An email works too. I'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Goddamn right.
AKA when I wake up at 2 p.m.
That's real. That's real. Nah, dude. But yeah, I think that idea for a sequel is probably the best. She's running away from Colonial Marines. Eventually they catch up to her. They restrain both of them. And they're still crash landing on this planet, and they're waiting for another group, another mission to come over and pick them up. And of course the goo got out and spilled all over, whatever the fuck. And it got some of the local wildlife. So now they got to defend against local wildlife till dawn. Makes sense.
Yep. Easy horror movie premise right there.
That is easy, down to earth. And it gives you so much time for character work, which is one thing that a lot of people are complaining about. I don't have that issue. I think that the sibling dynamic's really cool. And Rain and Andy literally, like, define the movie, you know?
Yeah, true.
You know, so, but I hear them, so we'll hear that criticism, and we'll up the character work for the sequel. That's it. And it'd be a good nod to Aliens, because it would have the Colonial Marines.
Exactly.
Just makes sense.
Natural buildup.
Yeah, I'd see that, and it'd be completely different, because once again, it's a different setting with different aliens. No queen, no nothing, just big-ass aliens. I'd see it. My thing is like, okay, would they incorporate a Xeno, a face hugger, whatever, you know?
I mean, I think you'd have to somehow.
Right, exactly. You'd have to. So how would they incorporate that? They'd probably do the stowaway on the ship, but it's like, really? You know?
Yeah, it would feel kind of cheap.
It would be cheap, not gonna lie. Maybe the rescue team comes over, right? But Weyland Yutani left some alien eggs or whatever like on that ship, or like left a stowaway, like they put that on that ship because like, okay, let's let this experiment begin. How do these mutants that are not xenomorph interact with the xenomorph? Do they team up? Do they fight each other? We've never seen that. That would be crazy. A xenomorph going up against other aliens? Well, that's what you're thinking. Oh, but Alien versus Predator. Right, I agree. I'm saying that you want to see xenomorphs versus these other mutant animals that we're seeing. Do they team up? Do they fight each other? Do they kill each other? Do they mutate? Do they mutate on top of each other? Do we see a new whatever the fuck morph get impregnated by the xenomorph, the facehugger, and it becomes another kind of morph? You know what I mean? Like, I would love to see that concept of, okay, we're gonna send another mission, but it's also gonna have a bunch of alien whatever the fucks, and so we're gonna see if Xenos can actually mutate alongside another version of the mutants, or if they all fight each other and kill each other. Because I don't think that's ever addressed in the Alien films, is it?
I don't think so.
Where the aliens just kill each other for like dominance? I don't think I've seen it.
No, I don't think so. But it would be interesting to see it, because if you do something like the Offspring versus the Xenomorph,
yeah,
it'd be cool to know that the Xenomorph is still, like, you know, on top.
Top dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I
Because,
wouldn't
like,
want...
the Offspring is cool and it's strong or whatever, but, you know, the Xenomorph is the Xenomorph.
Yeah. So, yeah, I probably wouldn't, like I said, like we said before, we probably wouldn't incorporate the Offspring itself.
Exactly.
But we want to see...
directly.
Right, but we do want to see other kinds of mutants go up against a Xenomorph. That would be a crazy cool... Because talk about upping the action. That's what it is. It's Colonial Marines sent over as a mission. Okay, so that's what it is. It's going to be the initial Colonial Marines. The initial Colonial Marines that go over to try to stop Andy and Rain and to get the serum. They already have like samples of like face huggers and eggs in their ship. Because we got to use the goo, like, you know, and we already have this. Maybe the doctors aren't completely truthful with the Colonial Marines, and they once they get the goo, they start experimenting and making Xenos, or maybe they don't make them until later on. But of course, with the mutant aliens already fucking around in that ship, maybe the face huggers impregnate one of the local wildlife, or maybe another alien, and then the Xeno comes out, and now the Xeno's fighting all these mutated animals that got fucked up by the goo. There are multiple ways to incorporate this, but I would love to see that dynamic. A bunch of humans trying to survive on a big alien planet with other life forms that some of them were actually mutated, and now you have the mutated life forms along with the xenomorphs, and not only are they looking for the humans, but they fight each other. You know, that's an interesting dynamic. I'd love to see that.
And it'd be a great way to flip that ending of Romulus too, where, you know, she's fighting the Offspring, this never before seen creature,
right? And
then for the sequel, the last section, it's just Rain and the Xenomorph. There's one singular Xenomorph.
And I mean, you're what's the word? Like Jurassic Park style, you know. And one thing I want to add is that you would be stupid not to use a shot of the Xenomorph killing the last alien, probably on a pile of bodies or something crazy like that, with a massive shot and a beam of light of the Xenomorph winning overall, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'd see that. So, yeah, that's my idea. There you go. Well, that's our idea. We built that together. Wonderful.
Yeah, 20th Century Studios. Contact us. Disney, Betty Alvarez, whoever. Ridley Scott. Fuck it.
We got cinema on our mind. Ridley Scott, I don't know about all that. He'd just say, fuck you, it's my idea now. Okay.
And then I'd sue him.
You wouldn't win, but it's all right.
Bring this video to court.
That's real. Yeah, this is evidence. I'll make sure I have it backed up on 3 different hard drives. And if I die, I did not have any kind of tendencies. You get my drift? I didn't have none of that.
If in 3 years we go to the movies and we watch this movie that we just talked about, someone's getting sued.
Goddamn right.
I will call Saul Goodman.
Oh yeah, no, trust me. Saul Goodman is the best lawyer on the planet. He will get us justice. Is what it is.
Indeed.
What is going to happen if they take our story? Say it one more time, just for me.
They're getting sued.
Goddamn right.